In 1977, George Lucas invented a desert planet with two suns. Scientists laughed. They said it was pure fantasy, that a planet couldn't survive orbiting two stars. The gravity would tear it apart. They were wrong. 245 light-years from Earth, NASA found it. A real planet. Two real suns. A real double sunset every single day. This is Kepler 16b, and it's stranger than anything Star Wars imagined. If space blows your mind, subscribe. We post every week. For decades, astronomers believed binary star systems, two stars orbiting each other, were dead zones for planets. The gravitational chaos between two suns would shred any planet trying to form. It was physics. It was settled science. Then, in 2011, NASA's Kepler Space Telescope spotted something impossible. A tiny rhythmic dimming of light. Not once, not twice, but in a pattern that only made sense if a planet was crossing in front of not one, but both stars. The Discovery team couldn't believe it. Lead scientist Lawrence Doyle later said it was one of the most unexpected findings in Kepler's entire mission. They had found the first confirmed circumbinary planet, a world that doesn't orbit one star but loops around two of them simultaneously. The Smithsonian immediately nicknamed it Tatooine. But here's where it gets interesting. Kepler 16b is nothing like the sandy desert world from Star Wars. In fact, it's far weirder. But what does two sunsets actually look like? The answer will change how you think about sunsets forever. Imagine standing on a planet at dusk. One sun is large and orange, about 2/3 the size of our own sun, a K-type star burning at 4,450 Kelvin. The second sun is smaller, a red dwarf, just 20% the mass of our sun, barely glowing, like a dying ember on the horizon. Both suns set at different times, different speeds, different colors. The sky shifts from orange to deep crimson to purple, then black, scattered with stars. Every single day. The two stars orbit each other every 41 days at a distance of about 21 million miles, closer than Mercury is to our Sun. So from the surface of Kepler 16b, some days both suns appear close together in the sky. Other days, they're on opposite sides of the horizon. No two sunsets are ever the same. For 229 days, that's one full year on Kepler 16b, the planet traces a path around both stars simultaneously, never belonging entirely to either one. Scientists call this a circumbinary orbit. Luke Skywalker just called it home. But could anything actually live here? The answer is complicated, and scientists are still arguing about it. Here's the twist that Star Wars got wrong. Kepler 16b is not a desert. It's not rocky. You couldn't stand on it even if you tried. It's a gas giant, roughly the size of Saturn, made of swirling clouds of gas and ice. No solid surface, no ground. Just layers of atmosphere that get denser and denser until they compress into something vaguely liquid far below. And it's cold. Brutally cold. Because those two suns, together, they're still far dimmer than our single sun. The temperature on Kepler 16b sits around -85 degrees Celsius. That's -121 degrees Fahrenheit. Colder than anywhere on Earth. Colder than the surface of Mars. It orbits at roughly the same distance from its stars as Venus orbits our sun. But Venus bakes at 465 degrees Celsius. Kepler 16b freezes. That's how much dimmer these two stars are. Half the planet is rock and ice. The other half is gas. It's a world that shouldn't look like anything in our solar system. And it doesn't. But scientists think it might be hiding something even more surprising in its orbit. Because Kepler 16b might not be alone out there. And what's possibly orbiting it will sound insane. Researchers at the University of Texas ran simulations of the Kepler 16 system's history. They fed in the known masses of both stars, the orbital period, and the position of Kepler 16b, then ran the clock backward 4 billion years. What they found was unexpected. Early in the system's life, gravitational chaos from the two stars may have knocked an Earth-sized rocky planet out of the habitable zone, the region where liquid water could exist. And as that rocky world spiraled outward, Kepler 16b may have captured it as a moon. A rocky, Earth-sized moon, orbiting a gas giant, orbiting two suns. Think about what that means for a moment. If you stood on that hypothetical moon and looked up, you would see a gas giant filling half the sky, and beyond it, two suns, one orange, one red, rising and setting in patterns that never repeat exactly. No calendar could track it. No single day would ever look the same. And here's the thing, that moon, if it exists, could potentially hold liquid water. The researchers calculated that with enough greenhouse gases, carbon dioxide, methane, the thermal energy from the planet and stars could keep temperatures just warm enough. Tidal heating from the gas giant's gravity would also warm the moon's interior. The same process that keeps Jupiter's moon Europa liquid beneath its ice. The same process we believe might harbor microbial life right here in our own solar system. Nobody has found this moon. The technology to detect it doesn't fully exist yet, but the math says it's possible. Somewhere out there, 245 light-years away, there might be an ocean world orbiting a gas giant orbiting two suns. That's not Star Wars. That's something better. Before Kepler 16b, the scientific consensus was clear. Binary star systems were planetary graveyards. Two stars pulling in opposite directions would prevent dust from clumping together. No clumping means no planetesimals. No planetesimals means no planets. Case closed. Kepler 16b broke that model completely. Not only does the planet exist, it formed inside what was thought to be the absolute minimum safe distance from a binary pair. It should have been ripped apart during formation. Instead, scientists now believe it formed farther out, then slowly migrated inward over millions of years, a process called disk-driven migration. And since then, astronomers have found more. Dozens of circumbinary planets, all gas giants, all challenging what we thought we knew. Which raises a terrifying question. If gas giants can exist around binary stars, what about rocky planets? What about Earth-sized worlds? The search is ongoing. And given how often science fiction has turned into science fact, don't bet against Tatooine. Kepler 16b is 245 light-years away. A frozen gas giant orbiting two dying suns. No solid ground, no breathable air. Possibly a hidden moon that no telescope can yet confirm. George Lucas imagined a Tatooine. NASA found something stranger. The universe doesn't do simple. If you want more videos about planets that shouldn't exist, subscribe. Next week, we're covering a planet where it literally rains iron. See you there.